All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this cricket Vodcast. This afternoon, my name is Anand. For those who don't know me, thanks for tuning in this afternoon, perhaps, and watching this cricket podcast live on either YouTube or Twitter. Welcome, everybody. Before we get started, I'd like to share a couple of news or cricket live score updates. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you're watching, and so that I can confirm my audio is working. Once again, welcome everyone to the stream. Nice to have you all. We are going to talk lots about cricket this afternoon. We are going to start from what cricket is all about and how it got formed. And then towards the end, we are going to talk about how scores are done, how batsmen get out, and all the teamwork of cricket. Before I begin, if you're watching once again, I'll invite you to come through the chat. Let me know the audio is working, and it's all glad to have you all on board on this very fine Sunday afternoon. Let me begin with some quick scores update on real international cricket and things going around the world. We have the Indian Premier League that is happening currently, and that's the IPL in short form. And there were two matches today. If you can see to the right of me where my background is at, that's the RCB team, that's the Royal Challengers Bangalore. They won against Rajasthan Royals by 7 runs. RCB got to bat first and they scored 189 runs with a loss of 9 wickets at the end of 20 overs. And then Rajasthan scored 182 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 20 overs. So they just came short by 7 runs. We'll talk about runs and wickets shortly for those who don't know about cricket. We also had another second match that was between Chennai Super Kings CSK versus Kolkata Knight Riders, where Chennai Super Kings were at its best, and they scored 235 runs in the first innings for a loss of 4 wickets, and they completed their 20 overs. Meanwhile, Kolkata Knight Riders, they were so close. They had some power striking, but they managed to only get 186 runs with the loss of 8 wickets. That means Chennai Super Kings won by 49 runs. I trust that everybody watching is doing well on this Sunday evening. Thanks for joining us once again. I truly appreciate it. We are in a couple of moments going to kickstart talking about cricket. We'll talk about how many players play on a team, different roles in cricket, the overs, equipment, scores, type of wickets. We can watch some couple videos together to see how the highlights work and everything. And then I'll share some statistics from current cricket players. So I'm just going to set up a few things. Just give me a moment and then we'll get started shortly. All right, perfect. So we are ready to kickstart this. On to your left hand side will be a few of the images I'll provide for visualization. I know most of us can be visual learners, so we like to learn with images or videos. So I'll be using that throughout this podcast to show you all about it together. So let's get started. So you may ask me first, how many players do play in a team? And that's 11 players that play at once. That is the fielding side of a team. So fielding consists of bowling and catching or fielding, and then a wicket keeper as well. So there will be 11 of them on a circular field. There will be 11 that comes into play, and then there will be two batsmen. Those are the players who bat the ball and then hit it either out of the park or for runs. We'll talk about runs and overs shortly. So there are a few different roles if you are playing cricket to take part in. So first is a bowler. A bowler is given the responsibility to bowl a ball to the batsman. If you can see right over here, this is the ball that the bowler uses. There are different types of balls, which we will cover later in the podcast. But yeah, the bowler bowls with it. Their main goal is to try to get the batsman out, or take wickets, or give as much as less runs as possible. There is maximum runs of 36 runs in an over. That can be possible even more, but the minimum and the maximum is between 0 and 36 runs. Next, we have the batsman who is given a bat. You usually have few equipments that go along. That's the shoes, the pads, the hat. That's if you're facing a spin bowler. I'll talk about more about spin bowlers in a bit here. But either you have the option to wear a hat or a helmet while playing cricket, and we'll tell you why, what is necessary for each of the types of batting. We then have what I called a wicket keeper earlier. Wicket keepers are a key role in guarding your wickets. It's more like in hockey, you have a goaltender, in soccer, you have a goalkeeper, kind of like that. They are there to guide this wicket. They can either stump the wicket, they can run you out, or they can take a catch behind the stump, which is called caught behind. We'll talk about different types of wickets as well towards the end of the video. We then have fielders. So fielders, there are different positions of fielders. There is no strict guideline on how you should place them. But there are, if you look into international cricket, there are a few guidelines, but technically you can place your fielders everywhere. Usually for a right-handed batsman, there are usually fielders more on the offside because that's where they're easy to target. And as you may not now already know, the cricket field is much more circular compared to a hockey rink or an football field or a soccer field. Before I get into the equipment that I use, I want to talk about the number of overs. What do I mean by overs? So, in a cricket match, each over consists of six balls. That means six legal deliveries bowled by the bowler. If there is a no ball, a wide, a leg by, some of those extras count towards an extra ball. So that's a wide and a no ball that counts towards an extra ball, and they're called under extras. In T20 matches, there are a total of 20 overs. So a batsman or the batting team would face 20 times 6. So that's 120 legal deliveries of balls in an innings. And an innings is the first part of the batting team, and then there is a second part as well to it. In an ODI, that's one day international, that's ODI, there are 50 overs. In this 50 overs, there is 50 times 6 again, that's almost 300 legal deliveries. So there are different bowlers, different batsmen that face through deliveries, and then they finish about 300 balls towards the end. Then there are test matches that can last up to at least 5 days long. We won't get much into test match this evening, but what I can do is we will cover another video because test match is definitely a little complicated. There are technical terms like draw, um, lead, trial, and everything that requires a whole entire video. So stay tuned for it. I'll definitely have one coming up. Now let's talk about the equipment before we get to the more fun stuff. What cricket is all about and why it is so amazing. Just give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, perfect. So this is the cricket bat. There are different sizes, shapes, and everything to a cricket bat. If you're a child, there is a smaller cricket bat for you, lighter weight and everything. Then there is a medium size and heavy, which real international cricket players use to satisfy their batting. I just want to also take a moment to thank Google, of course, for all these pictures I'm providing here to you tonight. Without them, it wouldn't happen. So, thank you, Google, for existing and being a part of our lives. We then have the cricket ball. I am more used to playing cricket using tennis balls, but there are different kinds of cricket balls. If you see this white ball, that's used for the T20 and ODI international cricket, and that is one of the most popular used balls. Then we have the red ball that is used for the test cricket, which I said it lasts up to at least 5 days. And we'll talk about that more in another podcast, as I promised. We then have the stumps. This is going to be our main focus for the next little while when we talk about wickets and outs. This is the thing. Let's say in a baseball field, you get the term strike. When you get out, this is one of the equipments that affects whether you get out or not. We are next going to talk about the cricket scoreboard, which is something fascinating. I am going to point to you a few different things in the scoreboard. So, for those who are watching, so first is the main score right here. It says 112 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. So that means the team that's batting right now. So if you can see, Rohit and Rana are batting right now, and you see the blue. So they are part of the Mumbai Indians team, and they have scored 112 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. I don't know from this picture how many overs they have finished, but if it is between, let's say, like the 10 overs or the 12 overs range, it's a fantastic score. Uh, this is the T20 international version, so they have 20 overs. So if they're at the 12 over mark, they have another 8 overs. So that's around 8 times 6 is 48. So they have 48 legal deliveries to face more. Now, if you look down below, it says target 221. Now, 112, 221 minus 112. I just need to use the calculator here. So, 221 minus 112 is 109. So, depending on how many overs the match is sitting at right now, they would need 109 more runs to win, to complete this match, to win the match. That's for the batting team, the Mumbai Indians. Now, if you look right here, MI that says Mumbai Indians, then we have fours and sixes. That's the boundaries. That's the most fun part. I'll get to that in a moment. And then we have the bowler scorecard here. So it says Ishant. So Ishant Sharma is the bowler. He's for Kings Level Punjab. And he has bowled 2.2 overs. So that's 2 overs is 12 balls, and extra two, that the point two stands for the extra follow, the balls that follow. So he has bowled a total of 14 balls and given 24 runs as a bowler. So when you're a bowler, when you bowl a ball, you expect a batsman to either hit a 1 run, either 2 runs, three, a boundary of 4 runs, or 6 runs. And when you score that, let's say 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, it gets tallied up to the bowler scorecard and to the batsman scorecard. That's how you keeps track of scores. Next, we have the cricket pitch, where I want to talk about the how long the pitch can be. It's this long in an image view. This was the two stumps I was talking about. It is placed on the ground like this. If you play like a beginner level cricket, it's usually on a supported on a base. But here on actual cricket stadiums, they will actually drill it to the ground, so it stays intact. It won't be affected by the wind, no matter what. But one of the scenario that has been lately affecting is the bales. If you can see, there are two small bales on top of the stumps that gets that doesn't dislodge when it hits the stumps. So sometimes the wicket does not count, and it is troublesome for the bowler team, since they had a chance to get a wicket but they are not able to, because the bales didn't dislodge. All right, now let's focus on the fours and sixes I was talking about earlier. I'll talk about the 1, 2, and 3 runs as well, how you get them. But let's talk about boundaries because that's the fun part. In a circular cricket field, there are advertisement boards or rope, you could say. Usually, in the previous days in the history, it was usually a round rope. Now they have that rope as well, but they have put advertisement board to make it more look more interesting and as an advertising feature. Now, if the ball, so this is the red ball, the test cricket. If I can Okay, so this is the ball we are looking at right now. That's the red test cricket ball. If it rolls down the field and hits this boundary line, if it's on the ground, you will get 4 runs, and the umpire signals it as a four. I haven't planned to cover umpire signals on this video, so this will be another video. We'll talk about Test cricket and umpire signals on another video. So thanks for your patience on that one. Otherwise, it would be a lots to talk about for me, and this will be a long video, which I know most of you want like a concise video, so I'll keep it as short as I can. So yeah, going back to my point. So if this red ball rolls to the ground and hits, it's a four. That means you'll get 4 runs to the batting team, and it will also count to the bowler. Now there is something that's called a six. If this ball doesn't bounce onto the boundary line and it goes above the boundary line, it will be called a six. Signal like this. That's two hands up, and that's a six. So you have two types of boundaries. It's more like home run like a six, and then there is a four as well. So let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Where did I lose it? Okay, I'm just gonna bring up the photos again. We were here. All right, I have it. All right, thanks for your patience, everybody. Okay, here we are. All right, so that was the boundary I was talking about. So you get four and six. This next picture is a little fascinating rule of cricket. It's called the no ball. Signal by extending your hand to the right. The umpire will, or you can do it as a left if the umpire. If you can see in this picture clearly, the bowler has overstepped the marking. There is a marking for bowlers. If they go above the marking area, it will be called as a no ball and you'll get a free hit. That means You cannot be purposely out by the bowler. You still have a lifeline chance. So if the no ball was a wicket or the next ball is a wicket, it won't count. It will be an extra ball for you, and you'll be able to hit it anywhere out of the park without getting the worry of getting out. So that's one fancy rule about no ball. Another no ball that can be happen is above waist. So if the bowler bowls and ball that's above your waist height, it will get signaled as a no ball as well, where you will get another lifeline to free hit it to anywhere. We then have the wide ball rule. If I can zoom here. So the batsman usually stands between these two wide line markings. If he goes above this line or this line, the ball, it will be signaled as a wide. That means the batsman is not able to reach for it, and the batsman did not reach for it. Those are the two factors that count as a wide, and it is signaled by this sign. Once again, I'll walk you through all the umpire signals on another podcast with about Test cricket as well. Now, this one, leg by, that's if it hits your batsman's pad. That's the pad that covers your leg for safety protection. If it hits that and travels far and the batsman is able to run, it gets called a leg by. And then there is the by also, which the wicket keeper is not able to guard the ball behind the batsman and it travels far. It can get called a by if there is no touch on the batsman's bat. Wonderful. Do we have any questions? I'll check on my Twitter feed here real quick. We have somebody on YouTube. Jason, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. If you do have questions, feel free to post it. Again, we just covered the different type of scoring methods. What we are going to discuss now next is how you can get wickets in cricket. So the first one is you can get a bowled. That's bowled, and that's if it when a bowler is bowling and it hits your stumps, and let's say for example this one, the ball directly hits the stumps without any other interference. It's a bowled, and it's an out signal by just a straight raise of your finger. We next have stumping, and that's why you have a wicket keeper behind your stumps. It's to stumping to guard your wicket. Now there are a few rules regarding this. So usually stumpings can be given on field by the umpire, but there is also a third television umpire that watches from the stadium above ground, who has access to camera, radios, and everything, that is in contact with the it's almost like in hockey, the situation room they have, where they review each call, each stumping, each everything, and they review this as well, the stumping. So one of the rule for stumping to if the batsman should get out is the batsman's foot must be not grounded. So it must, some part of the foot shouldn't be grounded. Then it can be called as a stumping out. Or anything that is not behind the white line can be also given as a stumping out. Next, we have a run out. This is possible at the wicket keeper's end or at the bowler's area. If this were to happen, it can happen in two different ways. A run out can happen by a direct hit. So that's when a fielder throws directly at the stumps and it's broken. And the batsman, as you can see, this one is shy of the white line. He can be dismissed right away. Or there is a second option as well. If the bowler collects the ball and then hits it onto the stump, That's also another out called the run out. Now, there is a rule that exists that the bowler must have the ball in his hand while dislodging the stumps to make it count out, or the batsman should be again out of the white line to make it count as a run out. Now, this is one of most straightforward dismissals a batsman can occur through, and that's catches. There is a saying in cricket: catches always win matches, and that's that. If you take a one hand catch, if you take a two hand catch, all fantastic options. Wicket keeper can also catch behind the wicket, and that's also an out. The only rule that applies is it shouldn't hit the ground before you catch it, so it must be straight out of the air so that you can catch it. Next one, it's a little controversial, little funny, which is unfortunate, you could say. The batsman tries to go for a big shot there in there. Let's say they need a few little extra runs to win the game, or they need to put it on the board for the chasing team. And the batsman steps little further back, kicking the stump or hitting the bat with the stump, and that's called a hit wicket. And that's one of the what you call unfortunate dismissals a batsman can go through, especially when you're trying to win the match for a team. And it has happened in many several different occasions. Now, my last type of out, there are a couple more outs which I didn't plan to cover as well. I apologize for that. But I'll have it on another podcast. I'll just write notes down. So I need to cover test cricket, umpire signals, and then the couple different outs. So I'll write notes right away here so that I can cover it on the next podcast for you as promised. We have the last dismissal that's called the LBW. And now, this one I will say again is another controversial dismissal type of thing. Before there used to be any review systems for players. The review system can be taken either by the batsman or the bowler to see if it's an LBW. And an LBW, it should be when the ball hits the pad without no hit involvement with the bat. If it's hit the pad and it stays within the stumps area, it can be deemed as an LBW. So this one you can see the ball was pitched in line, the impact was in line, and the wickets were hitting. So that's a clean out. So the batsman team, if the umpire signals it on field, can take a review and go to the third umpire to see this automated system whether they are out or not. So that's another fancy. If you want more explanation, feel free to ask me in the chat, or we can watch couple highlights as well shortly here. I have few videos planned for us to watch together. Okay, now before I show the videos, hopefully that will be my last part to discuss. We are going to talk about the two different kinds of bowlers that exist in cricket. Of course, there are many different variations on how bowlers bowl, but there are two main prominent ones. First is the fast or paced pacer bowlers who bowl fast. They have a long stride. They usually get the jump in the air and bowl like a straight swing, as I'm displaying it right now. Or we have a spinner as well. Spinner is more slower. They don't have much of a run up, and they are more usually more slower but more trickier deliveries to face. We're going to talk about a few statistics as well in cricket. This check was done maybe like an hour ago. For right now in T20 cricket, it's Virat Kohli India that leads the most runs. He has played around 115 matches and he has scored around 4,008 runs. That's remarkable. And this is for T20 international statistics. And then we have the most wickets by a spinner, and that Shakib Al Hasan between 2006 and 2023. Pardon me. He has played 115 matches and he has a total of 136 wickets. So you can see how fun these matches are. This is so wonderful. I love watching cricket. I love playing cricket. It's a fantastic sport that I ask you to get involved with if you can learn more about it. What we'll do now is I'll pull up a few highlights video. We'll watch it together. Let me know what your reactions are. If you like watching cricket, will you be able to start watching cricket again soon? And I'll give you a few tips and tricks to find cricket videos and how to learn playing as well. So let's have a look. Let me just pull it up here. We are gonna watch. You're gonna watch the match I talked about earlier. It's the Royal Challenges Bangalore versus. Let's see if I can get a perfect view. Okay, we are gonna watch the Royal Challenges Bangalore versus Rajasthan Royals. I'm gonna pause the video in between so I can react to what happened and explain to you what happened as well. So let's play it.
Run of the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru today, searching for a swift rebound, while the home team hunts back-to-back wins for the first time this season. It's an afternoon game, but if there's one place in India at the moment you don't mind rather playing an afternoon game, it is here in Bengaluru. Slight elevation, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's very warm still. And these two teams, they love playing bold, aggressive cricket. Virat Kohli is captain again of the Royal Challengers Bangalore, and he's up against Sanju Samson's Rajasthan Royals. Number 6 versus number 1, the Royals, as their name suggests, right up there. Now the toss a little while ago, Rajasthan Royals won the toss. They chose to bowl first, and that means RCB will bat. It's time to say good afternoon in our commentary box. Sanjay Manjrekar, Aaron Finch. It's a Sunday double-header today. This is the first of 2 games today. As I said, they're in green. They don't win too often in green, but here's a stat for you. Every time they win in green, they make the playoffs. What are we going to see today? Let's start new. Trent Bolton, he's got Faf du Plessis in front of him. Virat rather, up on the pads, first ball! He's never been out to Trent Bolt before as Virat Kohli, but it's that left arm swing once again. What a great first.
All right, I'm going to take a moment here. That dismissal was called the LBW. As you can see, the on-field umpire straight away raised his hand, suggesting it was an LBW. Clearly, pitched in line, pitched into his wicket, and it was right at the line. Unfortunately, this one Virat Kohli knew it was out, so he didn't go for the review. And there is only 2 reviews that batsmen get to challenge an umpire's decision. So I think it was a fair call, definitely, to see that the review was not needed. So Virat Kohli has to walk back to the pavilion. Let's continue watching.
Ball to ball. Brilliant from Bolt. Swinging back down the line. That's his 100th wicket in IPL.
Playing beside the line, that's maybe the way to do it. What a great first over. And RCB are 2 for 1. Oh, there's Faf in his own style. It's a style all his own. It's a style that works. Brings up the first boundary. The Rupe on the go fours played with so much ease. Another one! Jaiswal at mid-wicket, and I think the batsman has contributed to the dismissal in this case as much as the bowler has.
All right, so that one, the camera angle they didn't clearly show us, but what happened was the left-hand batsman who faces like this got dismissed by a catch that was taken by the fielder Jaiswal. So that's another wicket that went for the RCB team. RCB is the team that's mine, my favorite team, Royal Challengers Bangalore, and they are currently batting first. So they took 13 runs so far with a loss of 2 wickets, and we'll see a few more seconds into this video, and then we will hopefully end it up there. And then in another podcast, we'll talk about Test cricket, umpire signals, and other dismissals as well. So uh, here we go.
The timing, that is what just sets Glenn Maxwell apart. Doesn't matter if it's the first ball, he'll play his shot, comes off, and he finds the gap again. At this ground here in Bangalore, you don't need to say it's gone to the boundary. All you need to say is it's found the gap. He's connected that all right. And he'll keep going. Both the boundary, the altitude, and the straightness of the ball, the swing is gone, all helping him. And he goes again. One bounce into the boundary.
Taking advantage as much as possible of the field restrictions.
All right, I will pause it there since we are almost heading into the 40-minute mark of the videos. I'll just speak a few words towards the end of this video. So cricket overall is a fun sport. If you get the hang of it, the rules and everything, it's such an easy sport, something fun that has evolved all over the countries. I just wanted to speak a few something about IPL as well. So IPL is something comparable to the NHL, the National Hockey League. It's like Calgary Flames, only you have several different players from different parts of the world. Let's say Jacob Markstrom, for example, and Faf du Plessis, who is from South Africa. We have players from India, Sri Lanka, all within one team that gets drafted, traded, bought, auctioned off. All those terms come in. It's same as NHL players. I would love to talk about the Indian Premier League in another video as well. Those are fantastic topics that come to mind when it comes to cricket. Many different things. I can talk hours and hours about cricket, different statistics, different wickets, different dismissals. But I hope you enjoyed this small bit of highlights and my podcast as well. It is a pleasure doing this for you. Let me know if you have any more topics you want me to discuss on cricket, or whether it be hockey as well, or any other sport even. My other sports that I mainly know is soccer and soccer, cricket, hockey are my three jam sports at the moment. I can easily learn other sports too. Let me know what interests you. I'm always up for the challenge. Um, if you want me to talk about transit as well, feel free to hit me up with topics on that. Do you want me to do cooking again? I can come back to do a few more cooking videos as well over the summer course, of course. But I just need to finish off the spring semester as well, and then I'll be free. What else? Yeah, this has been a total pleasure doing. Hope you have any questions for me. Feel free to post them on my Twitter page, on YouTube like chat, or follow me through any of my social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere you can imagine. Once again, I thank you all for coming here this afternoon, watching cricket with us and learning more about cricket. Hope you enjoyed this mini discussion. and wishing you all a great Sunday afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you're watching from. It has been a true pleasure talking cricket with you, and we'll be back on another video. If there are no other further questions, I'll be ending this live video and talk soon.